authentic means a lot to me. Um, Being authentic is like it's a way of life. I think that now in this time and age, where you're able to see a lot of people's opinions, a lot of people's views. Um, it's kind of not hard not to see who's real and who's not. I think it's just sad that you have people who just they copy and paste what they see because other people are they're getting all the things that they aspire for, that they strive to get. Just copy and pasting, copy and pasting. Like, I think being authentic and original is the way to go, no matter what. There's billions of people in this world. You're gonna have people who vibe with, what you do or what you, speak on, your views. Just be yourself. I think being yourself is, can't beat that because people out here respect you. You have people who respect you. You have people who don't. Being original, being authentic gets you further than being fake. You got a lot of people out here faking until they make it. That's their path. That's what they chose. But in the end, being real, being authentic, it means a lot to to the people that look up to whatever you're trying to inspire. Me, I've always been that way with my father. My father, he was, he served time in the army. He was just straight cut to it, just about his business and, respecting people and just being honest with who you are. And that carried with me a lot, I just always been myself, speak my mind, speak my truth. I understand people. I understand, people, have their opinions and views on stuff. And, I understand how things affect people. And, just being authentic, it goes a long way. Like, even when I played, professional basketball, just me being who I am as a person got me a lot of opportunities just because, people they knew that I was dependable, they knew I was an honest guy, they knew I was, my foundation was solid. So transitioning from basketball into being an entrepreneur, you have clients who, they have all types of different experiences with all types of different clients. It may not be their best, but if you're dealing with me, I've always been professional. I'm big on professionalism, about getting the job done right, make sure everything's taken care of, making sure that I'm handling my side of what needs to be done, and, just making sure that everything's in place. I feel like, professionalism, it takes you a long way. Being authentic is part of it, being who you truly are. I just think whatever, like content creators, if, you're out here, just be yourself, be authentic. That'll take you farther than what you may feel like, oh, this person is doing such, this person is doing such. Man, just be yourself, do what you like, do what you do, and then it's going to be people who rock with you. They'll rock with you for whatever you do. Whatever you put your heart and soul into, there will be people that connect, because what I see nowadays on the internet is, everybody is a guru. Everybody is copying other people's styles of, just relating whatever message they want to relay. That's fine. Art has always been recycled. But at the end of the day, nobody can be you. Nobody can be you. Nobody can be me. Nobody can be whatever lane you're in, trying to create. Nobody can do that. It's good to look up to people and to be inspired. But I think the copy and pasters, that's what I don't like, because there's so much of it now that you can just feel it through the screen like it's not real, it's not genuine. From the gurus, you know, everybody's, oh, you gotta do it this way, you gotta do it this way, man. Just do it your way. Put the shots up and do it your way, and everything will work out. That's how I feel about that. What I don't like is just the regurgitation of the same way, same, you know, just not being honest, not being really who you are. You know, you have people hopping on the camera happy all the time. Like, that's not the case for the everyday person. Everybody's not happy all the time. Everybody's not, you know, in a jolly mood. So whoever, you know, your audience is, you just need to, you know, make sure you correlate it. And I feel like, you know, everybody on a day-to-day basis, you know, between work, kids, family, all type of deal, the economy, how everything's going. I just feel like it's good for people to be honest about, you know, if you're on these platforms, just be honest about what you're doing, what you're striving for, how you're feeling. Because I feel like people gravitate more towards that than to just, hey guys, you know, I just can't get with that. You know, I just rather you just be like, hey, you know, been a rough, you know, if it's been a rough day, you just tell me how your day is because I can relate to it. You know, if you're in a good mood, you can tell why you're in a good mood. That's cool. But for, you know, for a lot of, you know, for, you know, those people out here doing for, you know, whatever reason. But I just feel like you be your best version of yourself. You know, everything will come to you, it'll attract to you the way how you want it to. How you want it to. So, you know, just keep pushing, be authentic, be original. Shouldn't have to fake for anybody. You know, if you're really about something, got some substance to you, I mean, you attract everything that you want. You know, it ain't no doubt about that. I done lived a life and I done witnessed it, you know, getting opportunities, you know, working commercials, you know, James Harden, commercials with Yao Ming, and, you know, just off the strength of who I am as a person. You know, talent, I always had the talent on the basketball court, but I feel like most of the time I got opportunities because of the person that I am. You know, I'm all about positivity, you know, all about just being solid. You know, just being there, being reliable, you know, I just feel like that's what got me the opportunities in my life. It's not my talent. My talent spoke for itself. I think it's more so